Quartermain.
Hello, Susan. I'll have to ask you to forgive me for dropping by without calling first, but would you have time for a brief chat? It's rather important.
Well, of course. Come in.
Thank you. Well, may I compliment you on your lovely home?
I hardly think that's necessary, Mr. Quartermain, since your son is the one who bought it for me.
Nevertheless, it is still lovely, and it suits you perfectly.
I think I'm starting to feel a little better.
I beg your pardon?
Well, I was wondering if you came to do me in.
Why, Susan, you can't be serious.
Well, I am what they'd call the other woman.
Well, you are also what I would call a good friend, in spite of this rather sticky situation with Alan and Monica.
I presume that is what you want to chat about.
Oh, Susan, I can see that you and I are going to get along just famously.
How's Our Lady behaving?
When does a gorgeous lady like Molly ever behave?
You don't have to put on a show for me, Doc.
Molly, this isn't a show. I gotta have this bed for more seriously ill people. Really?
He's right, Molly. We need it.
I'd rather believe you two more than anything. But you don't have to kid an old kidder like me. The big freeze did me in.
Molly, I want you to relax. Don't think about that. That's something for us to worry about, all right?
It's not me that I'm worried about. It's little Mike. What's going to happen to him when I'm gone?
Molly, if anything ever were to happen, he can live with me.
You know it's going to happen, don't you?
Molly, please. We're not going to think about things like that, okay? I mean, you don't want all the doctors here in the hospital to think that the two of us can't bring people back to good health, do you?
It's about time somebody gave us some of our own medicine.
Yeah.
You'll take care of Mike, won't you? You won't let anything happen to him. Like letting him go to an orphan's house or anything like that.
Molly, as long as I'm alive, that'd never happen.
I wonder how many times we've stood together on this dock.
I don't know. Maybe 2. Give or take about 1,000.
Yeah. It's funny, I'm just getting ready to leave and go to Mexico. And I'm almost looking forward to saying goodbye to you.
Well, I hope that's because you know you're jumping over the last hurdle that finally puts us together, those divorce papers from Scott.
Mm-hmm. Our ship has finally come in.
Oh, right. You mean that big, ugly white elephant.
That's not the ship that I'm talking about, and you know it.
I know. But about that white elephant, you know. I mean, it's supposed to be a reward, right?
Mm-hmm.
Big deal. To me, it's like Port Charles' way of saying, hello, Luke Spencer. You know what? We think of you.
Oh, come on, Luke. It's not a joke. It's a wonderful thing. You are the owner of the Cassadine yacht.
That's great, but what am I going to do? How am I even going to pay for the dock payments, Laura?
I don't know. You figure out something to do with it.
I guess I am pretty lucky, right?
You are.
Yes, I am. Okay, you got it. I was at your mom's house, right? The mayor was there. What could he have done? He could have tied me to the anchor and dropped me overboard, and I sometimes wish he had. That's what he wanted to do last year, right?
But that's not what happened this year. This year, you came back a hero.
Laura, I don't want to be a hero. I don't want to be a saint. I want to be the guy that you come back to from Mexico.
I gotta get to the airport.
Yeah, I know. I told Slick to meet us here so you wouldn't be late.
Oh, Luke, come on. No, I can't stand that. I can't take goodbyes at the airport. I mean, particularly with you and Slick looking so miserable.
Miserable? Moi?
Yes. Yes. No, seriously, look, I just want to get in a cab and go all by myself. I'm a big girl now.
I know. You're determined to prove it. Okay, now look, go. But I'm telling you one thing. You have any trouble, you call me immediately.
I know. All I have to do is call. I know
That's right,
that.
that's right. If Scott gives you any trouble at all, if the plane doesn't leave in time, if your reservations aren't
Luke,
okay...
it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. And I appreciate your understanding the fact that I have to do this alone.
Yeah, that's what you want, right?
I'll be back just as soon as I get those divorce papers signed. Now remember, I am going to have a long, long bus ride when I get off that plane, so don't go worrying about me, all right?
Now, wait a minute. Bus ride or not, Laura, I don't care about the bus ride. If you have any second thoughts about our getting married, about your leaving Scott, I want you to tell me right now, because I cannot deal with you coming back here on the bus and telling me it doesn't work, okay?
Aye, aye, Captain. Are you going to be all right while I'm gone?
Sure. I'm gonna be fine. I'm probably dancing here on the dock, you know. I've been okay with everything so far, right?
Yeah. Right.
You feel okay?
I feel great. I feel better than ever. I feel beautiful.
You are beautiful. You are.
Come here.
Okay, what?
Just come here.
Yeah, fine.
Stand here. Now, I want you to look out across this bay and just remember our second night of nights that we had right here.
That was the night that O'Reilly sent us the champagne at the Versailles room, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And we danced and danced until all hours.
Yeah, and you didn't fall in the drink.
Oh, but almost.
Yeah.
Just about.
I know.
Now, that's the whole idea. You just keep thinking about that, okay?
Sure.
And just keep remembering all the beautiful nights that we're going to have together from now on. From now on. Just keep thinking about it.
Okay. Laura!
Yes. I'll be back, Luke.
I can't see you.
I know. I'll be back. I'll be back very, very soon.
Okay. I'll be right here. I love you.
I love you. More than anything. Just keep thinking about that night. And all the nights that we're going to have to look forward to. I'll be back, Luke. I'll be back very soon.
Anybody want a cab?
Too late, Slick.
Well, what are you talking about? Too late. I'm 15 minutes early.
I know you're early. Laura already left for the airport.
What? Oh, man, she left. I polished, I waxed the bucket. It looks terrific.
You washed that thing?
Oh, it looks great. Oh, she went.
It's okay, pal. It's all right. She wanted it this way.
Well, whatever lady wants, she gets. But I want you to know one thing, pal. Reliable Jones is here. Check your watch. I'm on time.
I know you're on time. She just wanted it this way, and maybe it's better.
Yeah, well, you don't look that much better. You want to... Come on, I'll go with you. Have a drink or something. You want a bottle,
Oh,
whatever
are you
want.
kidding? For me, it's much too early for me to drink.
Yeah, I see that. Well, what I'm saying is, soon if you want to talk, I got an ear, whatever. Look at what's the big deal. She's coming back, right, man? I mean, she is coming back, right? She is coming back.
You said that already.
I know how you feel.
Thank you.
Your girl left. Everybody feels bad. Sit down, take it easy. It's going to work out.
I know it's going to work, Slick. You know, I got a whole lot of dreams and a whole lot of happiness ahead with her, so it's going to work.
You also have a boat to take care of. A little boat.
Maybe I will take that drink. Do you have to remind me of that?
Well, maybe you're right. Why should you worry about a small thing like a yacht? Especially when it's only the size of an ordinary football field.
Oh, God. I figure I'll just park it in the hospital lobby.
That'd be a good. That's a good.
It's
that's
good for
spot.
it.
No, I'll tell you what you do. Look, I got it worked out.
What?
Get yourself a job for about $15 million a year.
Yeah?
So you can pay your expenses on the boat. You can maintain that boat nice with $15 million a year. There's little things like dock fees. You know what I mean? There's maintenance. There's paint. Them cute little flags. You got to get new ones.
Oh, the little flags.
The little cute ones. You got to buy those.
Some say bar is open.
Ah.
Well, I don't know what I'm going to tell you, except that,
Can I tell you something? Sell
please.
it. Sell it.
What? Sell it?
Sell it.
Why?
Hey, they sell the Brooklyn Bridge once a week. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah?
There's a sucker born every minute. Just find him. That's all you got to do.
You're a real pal, you know that?
I'm only trying to point out, as a pal, that there's certain responsibilities when you're a property owner.
Uh-huh.
Look, I got one taxi, right?
Yeah?
I'm getting gray.
Really?
Yeah.
I see that.
Well, that's what I'm trying to tell you.
Well, you know something? Gray or not, you really know how to spread the old sunshine.
Well, all I'm trying to say, Lou, is that with all our joking, there is certain realities. Oh, you going?
I'm
There
leaving.
is certain realities. The realities are this.
What are
There's
they?
things like gas.
Gas.
There's oil.
Oil.
There's grease.
Grease?
There's insurance.
Insurance.
There's a license.
A license.
Susan, no matter what the final outcome may be in this situation with Alan and Monica, I think you have every right to be very well taken care of financially. After all, your child is a Quartermain. I think of him as a grandson.
Well, I must say I'm surprised to hear that.
Oh, well, what difference does it make which side of the blanket he was born on, for heaven's sake? That's totally immaterial.
I'm very happy to hear that you feel that way about our son.
Well, we must think in very positive and realistic terms. I mean, he is a Quartermain. He has been born. Those are two inescapable facts of life.
Please forgive me, Mr. Quartermain. I just don't know quite how to react here. After that visit I had from Monica...
Monica was here?
Yes, she was, and it wasn't very pleasant.
No, I could well imagine. What happened?
Well, she wanted to give me $500,000 if I would just convince Alan to give up sole custody of Alan Jr. once there's a divorce.
I see. Well, obviously, you aren't going to be interested in Monica's proposition.
No.
Although money is certainly important to a woman who's trying to raise a child alone.
Alone? Forgive me, Mr. Quartermain, but I get the feeling you're trying to tell me something without actually saying it.
Oh, no, Susan. I was merely thinking of some of the situations that you might have to face sooner or later. Of course, it's entirely possible that sometime in the future, Alan may be able to get this divorce that he wants so badly without any public scandal. But, well, unfortunately, until that time, there are other people he has to consider.
You?
Me? Oh, good Lord, no. I don't give a damn about a little scandal. No. No, I was thinking about Delilah, my poor wife. At the moment, she's utterly devastated over this recent death of my niece, Alexandra.
Yes, I heard about that. I'm very sorry.
Yeah, well, as if that weren't enough, now there's also the possibility of a scandalous divorce action coming up.
Well, Mr. Quartermain, you know, it's totally up to Alan whether or not to proceed.
Oh, yes, I know that, my dear, but Let's face it, you do have a certain influence with him. That's why I'm here, Susan. To ask you to exert that influence. After all, for Lila to be further distressed at a time like this when we're all facing a memorial service for Alexandria, a public scandal is out of the question. I'm sure you can understand that.
I don't want any scandal either, Mr. Quartermain. Alan knows how I feel.
Well, then that's all the more reason for you to be indulgent with me. With Lila. You know, you could ask Alan to postpone any further divorce action for a few months.
Would a few months really make it any easier?
Well, it would give Lila the time that she needs to regain her emotional equilibrium. Frankly, I am very worried about her, Susan. That's why I'm asking for your help. Please, won't you at least consider the advantages to all of us by postponing any divorce action?
On the other hand,
Well, the thing is, that figure is, if it's going to cost that much, what am I
well,
gonna
everything is. I'm sorry, guys.
Hey,
Sorry,
no, listen,
we
you
reserve
wanna sit
it
here, man?
every day.
Reserve?
Yeah,
Yeah,
for us
sure,
every day.
sorry.
Yeah.
Sure, okay. No
It's a season,
problems, okay?
it's a season
problem.
pass.
I want no problem with you guys.
Here we go.
I'm glad they didn't want to start a fight.
Oh, hi, Luke. Slick.
Hi, Heather.
How about some coffee?
Fine.
The guy on the right is big enough. Forget it.
I really had a
Hi.
good time at your welcome home party last night.
Thank you, Heather. Laura and I had a good time, too.
You know, I'm glad to see two friends of mine so happy. At least I hope you still consider me a friend, despite all the stories you may have heard about my involvement with Diana Taylor's death.
Look, Heather, I never believe half of what I hear, you know? I'm a living proof that you shouldn't listen to rumors. Excuse me. Sure, anything you want. You know, because they told me I was going to get $5 million when I came back to town. You know what I got? I got a $5 million headache. I can't even afford to dock this thing.
Wait a second. You know what you could do?
What?
You could sell shares, and you could have like a floating museum.
It doesn't sound too practical, Slick.
So when are we getting practical all of a sudden? When are we getting practical?
Well, you're certainly not. I just think that maybe Luke should try something he has more experience with.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Now, you want some sugar?
Why don't you take the crackers, too?
Cream, it goes good with beer.
Don't take anything.
Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Something you have more experience with.
Listen to me, you gotta watch yourself on that dock. You never know who's around.
That's right. Well, you know, the only experience I have on yachts is being KO'd off them and stowing away, Heather, so I'm in deep trouble here.
What about the disco? Now, you used to run that before Susan Moore took it over, right?
Yeah.
So?
Well, maybe you could open some kind of club, like a supper club or something. That's a good idea.
Great idea, Heather, great idea. I could see Luke serving hot soup, and a wave comes along, and the soup goes right in the lady's lap. And Luke goes, "Oh, sorry, lady, I didn't mean to burn your lap. It's the boat. The boat did it." Right? And people are running around getting seasick. You could save money on food, serve little bits. They're getting seasick, they can't eat. All right?
That's right.
At $8.95, you serve a little hamburger.
Doctor, hi, Bobby.
All right, Sucker.
Taking a break from school, huh?
No, I came to see my grandma. Is she well yet, Doc Rick?
I would like very much to send your grandma home so she could be there and take care of you. But right now, we have to kind of take care of your grandma. We have to get her strength back.
But when's that going to be?
I don't know, Mike. Sometimes a doctor can only do so much. And the rest is up to God. You understand?
Well, I guess I do. But I wish God would decide about Grandma a little faster so Grandma could come back home. I miss her a lot.
Good morning, everybody.
Sure.
What's wrong? I'm going to go take a break, okay?
Hi.
But I don't know, you know.
Well, yeah. Oh, man, he's always been busy.
Yeah, excuse me. It's George and Gracie, as the old man said.
Yes, alive and in the flesh.
We're off to Washington for a little soiree with the World Security Bureau, you know, all that.
Right.
Very cheechy, you know.
I think what Tiffany is trying to say is I'm about to find out if I still have a job or not.
How can a spy be fired from coming in from the Gulf?
No, man, I don't think you have anything to worry about. The World Security Bureau probably just wants to give you a medal.
That's a marvelous idea. Just think, if that way we could get all sorts of international publicity for our film.
I wouldn't hold your breath waiting for that one, Tiffany.
You just think too small, darling.
Yes, well, thinking of things that are small, how's the boating set going?
Oh, I tell you, it's going swimmingly.
Is that a joke?
It was a poor one, I understand.
Still born, mate.
Yeah,
Right.
well.
Listen, have you given any idea to how much it's going to cost to maintain that thing?
No, not really, but I've given some thought about how to find out. So Slick and I are going to go see the harbor master this afternoon, right? See how much it's going to cost me to park that rubber ducky.
Well, whatever it is well worth it, let me tell you. Just think now, anytime you get that little whim, you can sail off into the sunset.
I think,
marvelous?
yeah, I think Leg's had enough of disappearing into the sunset for the foreseeable future.
For
right?
a long time to
Right.
come.
Well, you know, after he finds out how much it's going to cost to keep that boat in one place, you know, there are dock fees.
What makes you such an expert, pal?
My cab, you know, the taxi, I get people in the back that keep my ears open. I know there's a big difference between temporary parking and permanent parking, and that's a fact.
You may be well on the way to the ranks of bankruptcy.
Oh, wonderful. Does anybody else have some more good news for me?
Listen, pal, I'm only looking for your good. I just know there are problems, that's all.
Yes, well, look, I would love to sit here and partake in this frivolous banter, but we have a plane to catch.
Hey, I'm also an expert at that. I take you guys to the airport free of charge. How about
Oh, you're so sweet, darling, but we have a limo waiting for us.
Yes,
Thank you.
maybe some
Bye-bye. Ta-ta, everyone.
Bye.
Ta.
The limo waiting for us. Ta-ta.
They only go first class.
Hey, let me tell you something. That lady's some kind of dame, my friend.
Yeah.
How did Scorpio hook up?
Very simple, man. He used a diamond mine as bait.
That's a good
It's an inside joke.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm a marshmallow, that's all. I guess it just got to me hearing Mike talk about his grandmother like that. Knowing that he doesn't know what's going on.
You got some heart, kid. You love children, don't you?
Well, I'm no different from any other woman.
I think you are.
I just want a home and kids like everybody else.
Is that what a woman really wants? Home and kids? Is that what makes them happy?
Well, sure. That's what I want, don't you?
Yeah. I see, home and kids in the future.
I noticed how you emphasized in the future.
What about right now? Don't you think it's time for us now? Little, secluded vacation somewhere, just you and me?
I'm not ready yet, Noah. And I just, with Mike and his grandmother, and I mean, my brother just got back and he's about to get married, and I just think that I want it to be perfect, you know, and I just think that it would be a little bit too much to deal with all at once.
A little bit too much to deal with, yeah. You know what I think? I think it's always going to be a little too much to deal with.
Well, I'm sorry you feel that way. I think I'd better get back.
Yeah, I think that's a real good idea.
Hi.
Hi.
I have been sent to ask you to replace Rick, if you wouldn't mind. He's going across the street with Leslie to have ice cream with Mike.
Sure, no problem.
If it helps any, I think Bobby's a little upset, rather very upset about Mike's grandmother.
Yeah, I know. We all are. You know something, Ann? You just seem to handle things a lot more professionally than Bobby does.
Well, Bobby is just a big marshmallow. She, doesn't hide her feelings. I do. But I'm probably just as soft inside as she is. I just give the appearance that I'm more professional.
Well, I always thought of you as the, unapproachable Miss Logan. Nurse Perfect.
Well, thank you for the compliment.
Well, it is. Sort of.
No, you're right. You are. I know I give off the vibes as being Miss Unapproachable.
Well, you have good reason to. You're gonna be Mrs. Jeff Weber soon.
I guess you haven't heard the latest news.
What do you mean?
Well, I am not going to be Mrs. Jeff Weber. See, a funny thing happened on the way to the altar. The groom picked another bride.
How come my tea doesn't taste like
How
that?
do you like double chocolate swirl?
Boy, it's just great.
Terrific.
I wish I could take some to Grandma. She's always had an appetite when it comes to ice cream.
Listen, Mike, I should ask you, do you have anything in your life right now that needs doing that I could help with? I mean, like, oh, I don't got any holes in your socks or something?
Yeah, maybe I could take Corky to the vet for you and, you know.
Well, you saw Corky this morning. He's okay.
That's right, I forgot.
Yeah.
Gosh, it seems like Christmas. Everybody's being so swell to me. Like you and Doc Rick bringing me here for ice cream.
It is very easy to be swell to a swell guy.
Which reminds me, how do you like living with Rick? Is he treating you okay?
Oh, I like it just fine.
Yeah?
Except,
Except what? You got a complaint? What is
Except
it?
what, Mike, darling?
well, Doc Rick does a lot of kicking during the night, you know? He doesn't sleep so good.
I do a lot
Kicks
of...
a lot, does he?
Leslie has no idea the sleepless nights that I spent. Restless, sleepless.
She doesn't?
No, you see, when I was married to Leslie, I slept like a log.
Okay, I think we've had enough of that particular subject.
Oh, you're gonna back off now, huh?
And you better, or you're going to be in big trouble.
Yeah, I'm gonna put salt in your ice cream.
You know, I think people who get married should stay married.
Susan, with your help and cooperation, I feel sure we can come up with a more civilized solution to this problem than a messy divorce action between Alan and Monica.
You do?
Yes, of course, after a few months' rest from all this bitterness and hostility, people are bound to come to their senses.
Well, I've already come to my senses, Mr. Quartermain.
Well, good, Susan. That's all settled, huh?
Yes, it's all settled. Your approach might be a little more elegant than Monica's was, but you've come here for basically the same reason, to see if I have a price and what that price is. Apparently, there's something you don't realize, Mr. Quartermain. I had Alan's child because I loved him, not because he's a Quartermain or because I have any interest at all in your family's money.
Obviously, we should discuss this at another time.
No, there won't be another time. Please don't ever come back here again trying to buy me off. If Alan wants to marry me, and if I do marry him, it'll be because we love each other enough to handle whatever kind of scandal this might cause. And if he's not strong enough to do that, then we won't marry. But either way, I'll still have my child.
I'm sorry. I can see that I've upset you.
Oh, you've more than upset me. It's the way you're trying to make me feel about myself, like I'm some sort of backstreet tramp. Just because I loved a man enough to have his child. My child. Well, in case you're still wondering, there is no price tag on either one of us.
One thing is quite obvious. I certainly did misjudge you, Susan. No wonder Alan's so smitten.
There's nothing else, Mr.
No,
Quartermain.
that's quite enough for one day, thank you. However, I must say, I can't help feeling that you deserve much more of a man than you're going to get with my son. May God forgive me for saying that. Susan, I am extremely sorry to have caused you so much anger and embarrassment. Good day.
General Hospital will continue in a moment.